movies in the intro, aside from being great movies, had an NC-17 rating at one point in common. What that means is, regardless of whether you have a parent, you're not allowed to see the movie unless you're 17 years old, technically. NC-17 films are not allowed to play, most of them aren't allowed to premiere in movie theaters, which is where the main income is in cinema. That's where you make all your money, theaters. So what filmmakers have to face is the pressure of censoring and cutting down certain scenes that the MPAA wants cut to get a rated R rating and be able to premiere in theaters. But some of these scenes are the most important ones in the movies. The whole point of putting a crazy scene like some of these in the films is to get a message across, and now that you can't get the message across because you can't put the scene in if you want to go to theaters. That's essentially what this documentary is about, whether filmmakers should cut down their films to the MPAA's liking in order to obtain more income and have more people see their films. Okay, so what are your views on censorship, and do you think a film should not be distributed if it receives an NC-17?
My opinion is all films obviously go through the whole censorship process, and every director has their own take on how to make a film and their way of viewing it. Other topics or plots are obviously going to be more inappropriate than others, and that other movies have shown that. And I believe movies should be censored because there should be censorship for everything. If not, we would have movies that would not really be given to the right audiences.
Censorship is sometimes appropriate. However, today's society is rather conservative when it comes to censorship.
What should be my view on censorship is like, let it ride. Let all the kids see anything and everything at all times, and let children be a part of the whole filthy world and universe, and see the nastiness on everything since the minute they grow up. That's my viewpoint on censorship. Next. I mean, the kids should know how nasty and filthy the world is.
Censorship blocks a way for a director to truly get his point across. Like in a lot of movies, you don't see it because what you see in the movie theater is a final cut, but truly what the director wanted to put out there isn't what was in the final cut.
I feel that censure. Can you
Sometimes I think sitting on trains. Every step I get to, I'm clocking that game. Everyone's a winner, we're making our fame. Bonafide hustler, making my name.
Okay, do you think some of the NC-17 movies that you've seen could have carried the same message with the same intensity if the controversial scenes were censored out?
Well, some of the various scenes in the NC-17 movies are obviously very controversially intense, as you say. Now, whether these intense moments are too intense or whether they censored could carry the same message, I highly doubt it, because there are various situations in where this intensity is essential to conveying the message that the director wants to convey.
Perfect, dude. Perfect, man. Well, it depends what it is. If it's only violence for the sake of violence, then the message can be carried the same, without it. If it's something that is going to be more of a psychological effect on somebody who's underage or somebody who's not an adult, who can't think for themselves, who doesn't really has set morals and ethics and doesn't understand, the reasons, they don't understand why, or they can be, for even the games nowadays, even that last one, what was the last game that came out like a week ago?
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah. Even that one, I mean, do they rate them mature only?
Yeah,
do they care? Who cares who watches? I see all the kids playing them and they're like 10,
Mm-hmm.
And the message, I think that you should let directors do whatever the vision is that they want to bring out to the public. Whatever their vision was, however sick or violent or however, they're done for a reason. How they're going to affect people and how they're going to impact people. And that impact, you cannot censor that. You shouldn't.
Censorship for a film, like, I feel that it's unfair to the director after all the work that they've done putting the film together, and with all the actors and all the work that they've done learning their lines, and for the certain scenes that can't be shown, those lines that they had to learn and all those hours that they had to work for doing that scene that can't be shown in the movie. I feel that it's unfair to all the people working in the film.
It all depends on the standpoint that I'd be in. Because if I'd be new, of course, I'd have to censor it. Because if not, my first movie, my first film that was financed through a production company would be pointless.
And would you censor it in the interest that you would make a lot of money? Like, would money be any influence you in changing?
No.
No?
It wouldn't. Because the point is that if I'm new, it's to get my name out there. It's to get the fame, because with fame comes money.
If I were a director, which it's not really right now, I would say because the way you have the movie before in your head, you're trying to get right from that, where you have in your mind, to right to the movie. So if I was directing a movie and after all said and done, the rating system gives it NC-17, I feel like before you even started the movie, you would have in your mind what kind of rating you think your movie would be able to get, or what they would give you. So if I was going for not an NC-17 rating movie and I received one, I would go back and change stuff, but not to the extent where it would change the overall meaning of the movie.
I like my glasses.
I like your glasses too.
See, unfortunately, a director thinks that a director, it's only him, but it's a bunch of people that work with him and that he has to feed, So it's not necessarily him being the hero.
Well, let's say you're
vision.
Yeah, you're like what if you're self-financed?
Then you do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, but what if you want to make? I mean, what would you do?
If you want people to watch your movie, I mean, what are kids going to the movies, or are they watching Netflix and DVDs, and they don't no longer care about the movies? And that money thing is going to go the same way that the houses and the music houses went, where they're not making the billions and trillions that they were making before it all became, you no longer have to go buy a DVD, a CD or whatever. You can just, it's all out there. It's all free.
She said, hello, mister, pleased to meet you. I wanna hold her, I wanna kiss her. She smelled a daisy, she smelled a daisy. She drive me crazy, she drive me crazy. Gonna take her for a ride on a jet plane. Gonna take her for a ride on a big jet plane.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't make an NC-17 movie. The MPAA would never rate my movie that way. But from previous filming experience with one of my good friends, he's a very good director, and I'm not sure how he feels about it, but in my opinion, if I was the director, I sent in a movie, they gave it a rating of NC-17, I would say screw you, honestly. I'm not changing my film to change what I want to convey, what my artistic expression.
Spider-Man is not necessarily a rated R because there's no blood on the damn movie.
And Psycho was sent. Alfred Hitchcock wanted Psycho to be a bloodbath, but they censored it for no blood, and it ended up being better because they censored it.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it's Psycho. It's Alfred Hitchcock's masterpiece because there is no blood.
But okay, see, I would have to see the work before it got censored, to see what kind of things they edited out.
Yeah.
I would definitely, if you're a director, you know what the industry expects or what they're going to allow, and pushing those envelopes is part of being a director too. It's part of selling, a movie.
So Taxi Driver was violent why they censored it, but you have Clockwork Orange, which we all know that's sexual. Why they
sexual and violent.
Yeah, but American Psycho is sexual and violent more sexually, which is why I got an NC-17. Y Tu Mama Tambien, I don't know if you've seen that.
That's sexual.
Yeah, that's the whole movie. And that's a great movie. That's a spectacular movie.
Right.
And it's a good message too.
Yeah, but like I said, I would have to see the director's cut, and the one where.
But if that happened to you, what would you do?
I guess if it happened to me, and I wanted people to see my movie, I might have to let some scenes, be less dramatic, or because I have to feed my whole people, everybody, because I want people to watch it.
And if you were Steven Spielberg already, and you were $3 billion worth, and you could do whatever you want.
NC-17. I don't care, I don't care. But I mean, because I want to keep, my vision as pristine as I can put it out there. And I would hate, I never understood that censorship. I never understood any industry telling me what I can or cannot do, especially if what I want to do is freak you out, especially if what I want to do is, scare you,
the whole
and make you think, and make you freak, and make you cry, and make you puke. That's what I want to do, So, depending on what it is I want to do.
The hardest part about making this documentary is having someone film me and give my opinion in front of a camera, because I hate talking to a camera. I'm not going to act ever. I don't think. I hate talking to a camera really a lot. I also don't know exactly where I stand in my views on censorship, because there are so many good movies, excellent movies that are NC-17 that make me want to say never censor because these movies didn't censor and look at them. But there's also a ton of other movies that are completely different plots that definitely could have carried the same message with the same intensity if it was cut down to an R. To get an R, you can do a lot in rated R. Especially, you can do a ton in rated R. If someone told me to cut down my movie that I'm making now, and by the way, I put it in earlier in the documentary, not because I got an NC-17, but because just to show that Jonathan, where Jonathan was in film, and and the guy had a censorship bar in his eyes. It probably won't even get a rating. I probably won't even send it into the MPAA. Maybe I will. I love violence. If you know me, you know I love violence, and I put violence in some of my movies, like Gone. There's a limit with the budget we had. There's a limit to how much we could do, but we definitely pushed the boundaries of a $200 budget. With Gone, we definitely did, and I guess I'm proud of that. But yeah, I got into film, when earlier my favorite movies were, like James Cameron kind of stuff. They were like, not Titanic, definitely not Titanic, but like I used to like the Terminator 2 a lot, and I used to like Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible 2 was like my favorite movie of all time when I was like 10. But it wasn't until my dad showed me the movie Marathon Man by John Schlesinger, I think is how you pronounce his last name. But yeah, and that movie made me realize that I wanted to go into film for more than just taking a video on my phone and editing it on my laptop. Because as cool as editing was, that's not what I wanted to do anymore. Because the way that Marathon Man made me feel as a viewer definitely changed what I wanted to do in cinema. And now it's gotten to the point where I hate editing. I don't want to edit anymore. The only reason I edit is so that it comes out the way that I want it to come out. So that even though might be able to get it with somebody else, but I don't trust anyone, especially not in high school. So, and then that was my favorite movie for a while. It was Marathon Man. Even when I went to Socapa in New York, that was my favorite movie. And then, I got home and I saw the perfection of what other people did with film, and it was kind of crazy, It's crazy. And Martin Scorsese, and I mean...
Hey, sport, how you doing?
Okay, my man. Where do I know you from, man?
I don't know. How's everything in the pimp business, huh?
Do I know you?
No. Do I know you?
Get out of here. Come on, get lost, huh?
Do I know you? How's Iris? You know Iris.
No,
You know
I don't know
Iris.
nobody named Iris. Iris, come on, get out of here, man.
You don't know anybody by the name of Iris?
I don't know nobody named Iris.
No?
Hey, get back to your fucking tribe before you get hurt, huh, man? Do me a favor. I don't want no trouble, huh? Okay?
You got a gun?
Get the fuck out of here, man. Just get out of here.
Suck on this.
So yeah, hopefully, as my budget goes up, as my experience goes up, I will incorporate more aspects of things that might have to be censored in my movies. Maybe an ego is like a change, or maybe and there's freedom in looking crazy, which whether that's my next film or not, I haven't even told anyone about that. I would definitely like to make that either way. I mean, yeah, for me it's necessary to be, I've incorporated violence, I haven't incorporated other things in my movies that I probably will when I'm older. And my movies will get better once I incorporate those things, but for now, I'm definitely not making, I'm definitely not in the boundaries of what a 16 to 17-year-old filmmaker should be doing in terms of how much blood and like the subliminal meanings in my movies and you know, drugs and likable egoists, and I mean,
It's now dark and always night. I think because of the shock of a loud boom, I slipped and fell on that knife. That killed me. I can't think of a logical explanation for this, but I woke up on top of a dead person. He had killed himself because he could not take being alone anymore. Who knows how long he was stuck here and with no company. I never thought I would consider anything like what's going through my head right now. But it seems like the only way out.
Censorship is a matter of the individual. Whether he wants to censor it or not is up to him or her. I did not make this documentary biased. I did not influence anyone's opinion prior to shooting it. I agree with, I think, Hugo the most. If I was starting out, I would listen to my superiors and I would censor it. I wouldn't try to pull any snobbish, narcissistic move on my producer. Definitely not. At first. Maybe later. Oh, I should cut that out. No, maybe. No, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. Until I was self-financed, and I am self-financed now. I hope to leave. To stop being self-financed. Because, you know. But, you know, I'm 17 and I'm making all these movies, so, I mean, at least I have that.